Good morning and welcome to the broadcast. My name's Todd and this is Digging Life 21. Today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to lay out and cut in a house seat. This is an absolutely wonderful entry-level excavation type job. You have minimal tools. Tape measure, long tape, 4-foot level, string line, and the trusty string level. I never leave home without this. And of course, painting wand. You can use any color marking paints you want to, but in general for digging, I prefer white. Just about every other color of paint is dedicated to utilities, so this is what I do. And of course, not so basic of tools, excavator, and some type of either a skid steer or tractor with a box blade or, you know, front end bucket. You can do this whole job with just an excavator. While the excavator is warming up, let me take you down here and show you where the house seat's going to be. Did I forget to mention how beautiful of a day it is? It's a great day to be working in the mountains of North Carolina. Sunny, not a cloud in the sky. It's about 30 degrees. My type of weather. And of course, a hammer, because you're going to have to move the stakes. First thing I want to do is go down here and see how close the customer actually laid these stakes out. And what a mistake a lot of folks will do is they'll measure along the ground. They won't pull a tape from a line and hold it out fairly level to measure, and that can throw it off a little bit. Get this divided in and stay. So here's my stake. Let's come up level. So that's 20 feet. That's right. Now let's get our other measurement. Should be 40 or 50. Pull it tight. 50 feet. So that's good. Alright, so next thing we're going to do, you just take the end of your string line, do like a double overhand knot. Doesn't have to be anything special. You're not going to be putting this under a major load or anything. Alright, so then what you can do is pull the string through your loop and it'll cinch down onto this. Make sure that's in the ground good. Now I go down to ground level. Now we're going to pull this string out. We're going to see just how much of a fall in grade we have. Now, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this good, but this has an opening on one side and then the opposite. It hooks right on your string, just like that. Alright, now what we've got to do, grab my tape measure. Alright, just to show you guys how I do this. Now the bubble will go to the uphill side. So we're going to pull it really tight and lift up until that bubble's directly in the center. Very important that it's perfectly in the center. This is the elementary method. Alright, I'm going to hold this line right over my stick. It's got to be in line. You got to pull it tight. Now ideally you've got a stick that's high enough that you can mark for your operator to be able to see. What I'm going to do, set my tape measure up like this. You want to make sure that it's right at that stick, because if you move this way, it's not going to be accurate. You got to be right at your stake. Pull it tight. I thought it was about 3 feet of fall. And you got to look straight down on the bubble too, once you want to get it more and more accurate. 40 inches of fall. You didn't think it to look at it. Let's take your bubble off, put it in your pocket. You don't want to leave it on your string. 40 inches of fall. I like to have my string just a couple inches off the ground so I don't paint it. Just a couple inches. Just about like that. Then go around here. Pull it too tight. Just go around a couple of wraps. Alright, as we approach the job site, now what I'll do is I go on the outside of my string. Well, my one decided to go on the fritz, so we're going to do this old school. I'm not going to push on this line. I just want to glide along beside it. I'm going to do that around all four sides. I know it's kind of faint, but I got my line marked out through there. I pulled my string line from here down to the other side, but well, you need to check fall here as well. So down to ground level is a little over 7 3/4. Down to 5 1/2. So as far as from that end to here, we've got about 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches of change in elevation. That's not bad. Let's see how this one compares to that one and see if the fall from here to there is the same as it is from there to there. Now this is just for giggles, more or less for me. That's 5 inches, 5 3/8. See where we're at here. Now remember, you gotta come all the way to the corner. Let's see what we got. 45. Not bad. First thing I'm gonna do now is fuel up my excavator, and then that way, once we get done digging this out and doing the whole job, I'll be able to fuel it back up, use the gauge I've got on my pump, and I'll know exactly how much fuel it took me to do this job. So it'll make me be able to more competitively and accurately quote jobs in the future. For you folks who don't have laser levels, transits, you know, any kind of laser system, and you're just starting out, you don't have the money for it, let me show you a way that I get close when I'm just trying to grade from the cab. Just a little 3-foot level. All right, so I've got it in line with my cab. All right, so you can see we're about, we'll say 1/4, so the bubble's lined up with that piece of fuzz. Let's go over here to the cab and see how that compares. So it's about 1/4 bubble off from where it's sitting now. And what I'll do while I'm sitting in the machine is I can stick this here. Now you want to make sure that this thing don't slide down, so you want to put your feet kind of in front of it, but you can just look straight down on this and get a rough idea of how close to level your machine and your bucket are digging. They also do make kind of stick up levels, and you can stick one up toward the top of your glass there and one there, and that way you can just glance back and forth. I got my machine set up, blade downhill where I can traverse side to side. First thing I'm going to do is go around this side, the uphill side, and the far side, and I'm going to cut along those white lines and start pulling my topsoil toward me and piling it off to the low side. For those of you who are really new to this and you're like, well, how do I know when I've dug enough of the topsoil and I'm at clay? In the mountains of North Carolina, okay, so here's ground level with your grass. Then you got this really beautiful, almost kind of black, dark brown. That is your topsoil, and usually your roots run down that deep. But when you start seeing these clumpy, real clumpy, and get out of the way here, this red, that's clay. See how hard it is? That's hard. Topsoil, it's real fluffy, soft. Now for those of you who are like, well, you've dug below grade down there, just stick around and you'll see how I work it out. I'm going to point my teeth straight down. So let's measure. Let's just do from the teeth up to the back of my bucket is 43. So I want to go to about where this piece of mud is. I want to go that deep. We'll start cutting this across and see how that looks. Up to this grade is where we want to be. So I'm just going to grab the top of that pile and start rolling it down, pack it a little bit, roll it down, pack it a little bit, and we'll see what kind of grade we've got. A 4 foot level would actually be better, but got a 3 foot bucket and a 3 foot level. So let's see here how close we are. So over 3 feet, we've got about an inch difference. Over 20 feet, roughly, I guess about 4 inches, and that suits me. Let's see how we are on side to side. Solid. I'm happy with that. Got my level set up here where I'm just looking down, and as I swing, let's see how it compares. Let's see if we're about an inch. So it's accurate. The floorboard of my machine is the same as now we're sitting on grade. Now this next part takes a little bit of patience. Since I know that right track is on grade this way and side to side, I'm going to take that bucket and I'm only going to move over about that space between that tooth and that tooth each time. And I'm going to work my way all the way across through here. Now that I've got it all roughed in, I'm going to reset my stakes down into the cut, pull strings around 3 sides so I can see a lot better where I'm high and where I'm low. Got the tractor going. As you can see over there, I've made many trips back and forth both directions and at angles to compact that lower side. This side got cut out, so it didn't really need compacting per se, but that side down there is where all that fill went to. So you can see kind of a difference. So now I'm going to adjust my box blade and we'll just work our way across here, cutting this seat on in. I just got through staking out my corners and putting my string level on all sides. And the way we know that we're good and level is I started on that corner, came to here, check level, all the way around, check level. I kept pulling level around through here, and once I got to this last one, I just lined my string up with this string. Well, if I can get it on here, pretty well dead on. Bubbles favoring this side just a hair, but that's all right. Now the next thing we're going to do is check. Obviously we can see the string. If the ground is farther from the string on this end, that means we have fall. The land is getting farther away from level, which means any water on this end should run off there. Now this one, it's so close to being on level. Let me just show you. Now you gotta make sure that your string is not touching the ground. We're not cheaters around here. All right, so we are 1 7/8 inches off the ground there. We're gonna follow this all the way down. It's pretty consistent. All the way down here. To 4. That's not bad. For the most part, just going by a bar level and kind of the seat of my pants. Now all this in here doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. That's what the road bond's for. It's a lot easier to grade than clay. I'm very happy with how this has played out. The only thing that I'm not super duper pleased with is how much lower we are over here. So like quite a bit of difference on this corner here. But I can tell like from here, it's just really this little corner. So I'm not too concerned about that. The house is 14 feet. So if they did put the house right on that back corner, on my magic 14 right here is 14. So really the house, if they put it all the way back, is right at where it starts to drop off. I'm more than likely going to end up taking that topsoil and building this out a little bit more gradual. But they own a nursery, so they may want to keep the topsoil. Sorry about the sun. They do own a nursery, so they may want to keep that topsoil for potting or something. This was a super fun little project for me. It's one of my favorite types of projects, and it's not done yet. So be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And the next time we're up here, we'll be hauling in material on the triaxle and setting up to do the actual road bond pad. And don't forget to hit that little thumbs up, the like button. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps me tremendously, and I really appreciate it. If you really enjoyed watching this video and you want to see more projects like this, comment house seat and I'll make sure it happens for you. We love you guys. See you next time.